was kind of a strange child. My parents knew early on that something must have been wrong with me. I crawled backwards until I was 2, but had Kennedy's inaugural address memorized by the time I was 6. It all began when my mother didn't show up for my first birthday party because she was off having my sister. My dad tried to cheer me up by letting me eat the whole cake. I knew then there had to be more to life than this.
Pat Boone! Here he comes, swinging it too. Here he comes, Pat Boone. Talk to me, baby.
When I was a kid, I thought only 3 people worked for General Motors: Pat Boone, Dinah Shore, and my dad. Our hometown of Flint, Michigan was the birthplace of General Motors, the largest corporation in the world. There were more auto factories and auto workers here than in any other city on earth. We built Cadillacs, Buicks, and Fisher bodies, GM trucks, Chevrolets, and AC spark plugs. We enjoyed a prosperity that working people around the world had never seen before, and the city was grateful to the company.
With the whole city rocking, Flint, Michigan throws a birthday party. It's for the people of General Motors on their 50th anniversary. Pat Boone celebrates with a song. The promise of the future is the keynote set by GM President Harlow Curtis. From the world of TV comes Sergeant Garcia and the swordsman known as Zorro. But the big hit of the parade is the lively marching of the Elks Junior Drill Team. The citizens of Flint, birthplace of General Motors, also see the radiant Miss America.
This was Flint as I remember it, where every day was a great day.
Oh, it's a great day, all right. A salute to Mr. and Mrs. America.
Teamwork, teamwork. The nation's secret was teamwork. And no doubters and scoffers said this is as far as you'll get. GM answered, you ain't seen nothing yet.
My dad worked on the assembly line at GM's AC spark plug in Flint for 33 years. In fact, as I grew older, I discovered that my entire family had worked for GM: grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone but me. My Uncle Laverne was in something called the Great Flint Sit-Down Strike. Just hours before the year's end in 1936, he and thousands of other GM workers took over the Flint factories and barricaded themselves inside, refusing to budge for 44 days. The National Guard was called in, and the eyes of the world were on Flint. On February 11th, 1937, General Motors gave in, and the UAW was born.
The GM employee has made great advances, and it is our wish that he continue to prosper. Most of our employees, even those who at times cause problems, are conscientious and hard-working men and women. Men and women to whose imagination, ingenuity, energy, and dedication our country owes its industrial leadership in the world.
Well, that all sounded fine and good, but the assembly line wasn't for me. My heroes were the Flint people who had escaped a life in the factory and got out of Flint, like the guys in Grand Funk Railroad, Casey Kasem, the women who married Zubin Mehta and Don Knotts, and perhaps Flint's most famous native son, Bob Eubanks, host of TV's hit show The Newlywed Game. I figured if Bob Eubanks could make it out of here, so could I. After 10 years of editing my own paper in Flint, a California millionaire called and asked me to be the editor of his muckraking magazine in San Francisco. It didn't take me long to figure out what to do.
The final issue of the Michigan Voice is now being printed. 10 years after he started the magazine, Michael Moore is moving on to San Francisco.
Well, what would you do? I mean, this was San Francisco. But San Francisco was on the other side of the world from Flint. Everyone there had a job, yet no one seemed to be working. The cafes were filled with people at 3 in the afternoon. I was told there's one restaurant for every 44 people in San Francisco, but most of them seem to be dessert places. Trying to get a simple cup of coffee became a nightmare for me.
Espresso, double espresso, cappuccino, double cappuccino, latte, double latte. mocha, double mocha, cafe campana, macchiato, double macchiato, cafe bianco, or house blend.
I was feeling a bit disoriented living in a town that didn't carry any non-dairy creamer. I went into work and announced that I was going to give a monthly column to a Flint auto worker. The owner instead told me to run an investigative report on herbal teas. I told him I had a better idea. Let's put that auto worker on the cover. The owner wasn't amused and declared that California and I were a mismatch, just before he offered me my free U-Haul back to Michigan.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, son. It's been a long time.
Sure has. Where's Mom?
In the kitchen.
Your hands are filthy. Go upstairs and wash.
Okay, Mom.
Okay, so my homecoming wasn't quite like that. In fact, I wasn't back in Flint more than a few days when the bad news hit.
This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Good evening. General Motors confirmed it today. It is going to close plants employing almost 30,000 workers.
Today, we are announcing the closing of 11 of our older plants.
While Detroit and Pontiac will certainly be hurt by the shutdowns, the effect on Flint is absolutely devastating.
Devastating wasn't the half of it. I mean, maybe I got this wrong, but I thought companies lay off people when they've hit hard times. GM was the richest company in the world, and it was closing factories when it was making profits in the billions.
We do not have any plan to cut our workforce by 80,000. That was kind of a what happens if type of thing.
So this was GM chairman Roger Smith, and he appeared to have a brilliant plan. First, close 11 factories in the U.S., then open 11 in Mexico, where you pay the workers 70 cents an hour. Then use the money you've saved by building cars in Mexico to take over other companies, preferably high-tech firms and weapons manufacturers. Next, tell the union you're broke, and they happily agree to give back a couple $1 billion in wage cuts. You then take that money from the workers and eliminate their jobs by building more foreign factories. Roger Smith was a true genius.
I think our employees have got a new emphasis on job security, and certainly we want to try and help them with that.
What do you have to say to Roger Smith?
Boy, it's going to be rough. I kept mentioning television.
This was to be the first of many layoffs in Flint, the final day for the GM truck plant.
Well, I think most of you are aware that this is the first major plant closing to take place in Flint. Let me rephrase that. This is not a plant closing. It's a loss of one product line.
My friends and I decided to pose as a TV crew from Toledo to sneak inside the factory. I wasn't exactly sure what a TV crew from Toledo looked like, but apparently the ruse worked as we filmed the last truck going down the line.
Well, what's everybody so happy about? They just lost their job. Nobody's applauding, they just lost their job.
Trying to impress upon the employees that are being laid off that there is nothing out there for them to depend upon for the future.
Best thing Michigan can do and General Motors can do is get rid of Roger Smith and them other son of a bitches.
That seemed to be the general consensus as I talked to many GM workers about their chairman, Roger Smith.
You tell Roger Smith if you could talk to him.
Oh, Roger Smith, I'd tell him to retire.
He can't look an auto worker in the eye, you know, because if he should be feeling guilty.
Those people are hungry. He's not.
I tell Roger Smith to get off his big bucks and start giving some of it back to its workers. I'm sick and tired of these damn fat cats. I could say a few choice words, but I'm a lady and I was raised a lady, so I won't say what I really feel, but I could use some very unsavory language as far as the fat cats.
Fire Roger Smith! Fire Roger Smith!
There were those who had a different opinion in Flint, like Tom Kay, a spokesman and lobbyist for General Motors.
I'm sure that Roger Smith has a social conscience as strong as anybody else in the country. Because a guy is an automobile executive does not make him inhuman. I've talked to enough of them, I know what their concerns are. He has as much concern about these people as you do, or as I do. And nobody likes to see anybody laid off or put in a hardship situation.
Have you ever talked to Roger Smith?
Sure.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Well, how do you find him to be? What kind
a very warm man. I have...
A warm man? Did I have Roger Smith judged all wrong simply because he was eliminating 30,000 jobs from my hometown? I decided to find out. I wrote, I phoned, I faxed, I tried every means of communication available, but nothing seemed to get me any closer to Roger. I was left with no choice. I got in the car and drove about an hour south of Flint to Detroit, to the world headquarters of General Motors. My mission was a simple one, to convince Roger Smith to spend a day with me in Flint and meet some of the people who were losing their jobs.
Anybody in? I can help you, gentlemen, please.
Yes, we're going up to the 14th floor.
Do you have an appointment?
No, we don't. No.
I think you need an appointment.
To go up there?
Yes.
Oh. Well, how can we make one?
You want to step out and...
Okay, first of all, anything
we
above
came down from Flint.
anything above the first level here is private property. That's off limits.
This is all off limits. This is security right now.
This is? All right.
But listen, who just want to talk to you?
Roger
Smith.
I want to talk to Roger Smith.
I'll get a PR man. We'll see what we can do.
What kind of movie are you making?
It's a documentary on Flint.
And labor
Yeah, the whole
problems or-
situation, the plant shutdowns, the layoffs.
We will try to have someone get back in contact with you as soon as someone's available.
All right, I'd really appreciate
You got
it.
some kind of credentials you can give me, or they can get in touch
Sure,
with
what
you?
is your name?
Herb Sloan. Give me a business
Name's
card.
Michael Moore. And, let's see, I got a frequent flyer card. Visa. Of course, I was having a hard time finding my business card because I don't have any business cards. So I gave Mr. Slaughter my discount pass to Chuck E. Cheese, but he said that wouldn't get me in to see Mr. Smith. So I headed back to Flint for further guidance from GM lobbyist Tom Kay.
General Motors wouldn't be doing anybody any service if it goes bankrupt. It has to do what it has to do in order to stay competitive in today's economic climate.
Even if that means eliminating 18,000 jobs.
Even if it means eliminating 20,000 jobs.
Or 30,000?
Whatever.
How about all the jobs here in Flint?
It could feasibly happen.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sue Zelenko. Bill Harris has the night off. It was where the UAW was born, and tonight, around 3,000 people are now trying to figure out what to do with their
Nobody was
lives.
ready for the announced plant shutdowns today, least of all the 1,350 workers.
Last truck chassis headed down the line this morning. Virtually all the 3,400 people here are now on layoff.
Automotive editor Larry Elliott was at the plant today as that last car was making its way down the assembly
Will
line.
this plant return to building engines if the rush back to small cars occurs? The answer is no. In Flint, Joe Weaver, Channel 2 Eyewitness News.
More factories had closed, and I was beginning to see the effect this was having on my friends. Ben was the auto worker who I'd put on the cover of that magazine out in San Francisco. He'd been laid off 5 times in 5 years from GM, and expecting to be laid off again, he cracked one night while working on the assembly line. He was now shooting hoop at the local mental health center.
I just couldn't take it. I told the guy next to me, tell the foreman, I'm sick to my stomach. I don't give a shit what you tell him. I grabbed my coat and I flew out the door, past the guards, jumped into my car, got onto Bristol Road, and was flying toward my apartment. And I turned on the radio hoping that might cheer me up. I got like tears coming out of my eyes. And I strike right into the middle of Wouldn't It Be Nice by the Beach Boys. And I'm thinking, what a horrible, horrible song to have to hear in the midst of this panic attack. A song that, usually I would really get a groove going with, And so I'm trying to sing the lyrics, and I've got like an apple in my throat, Maybe if we wish and hope and think and pray it might come true, And I'm trying to rationalize with those lyrics, trying to think, wouldn't it be nice? And it just wasn't working.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long? And
Some disturbing news today from the Genesee County Health Department. It announced the rat population in Flint has now surpassed the human population by 50,000. Health officials say that's due to the massive numbers of people leaving Flint and the city cutting back to twice monthly garbage collection due to budget constraints.
Maybe if we think and wish and hope and pray it might come true. Run, run, you, baby, then there wouldn't be a single thing we couldn't do. Or we could be married, or we could be married, and then we'd be happy, and then we'd be happy. But wouldn't it be
Just when things were beginning to look bleak, Ronald Reagan arrived in Flint and took a dozen unemployed workers out for a pizza. He told them he had come up with a great idea, and if they tried it, they'd all be working again.
He suggested that maybe some of us could find better jobs elsewhere, like in Texas or in the southern states. And that's when I spoke up, because I have a son, a home. I'm trying to do it by myself, and I can't just pull up stakes and take off by myself.
We don't hold any public office. We're really nobody special, but he wanted our opinions and our views.
It's at a level that I could understand, and I liked his ideas about, well, the ideas that he voiced to us.
Lucky, lucky, lucky me, I'm a lucky son of a gun.
None of Reagan's luncheon guests got back into the factory in the ensuing years, and the only bright spot to come out of the whole affair was the individual who borrowed the restaurant's cash register on the way out the door. Meanwhile, the more fortunate in Flint were holding their annual Great Gatsby party at the home of one of GM's founding families. To show that they weren't totally insensitive to the plight of others, they hired local people to be human statues at the party.
So what's it like here in Flint these days?
Well, things are tough here for the people that are laid off. There's still people working, and I don't think it's as bad as people may believe.
We started something, and we're going to finish it. We're going to be the leaders.
What did we start?
We started an industrial revolution, an art form that's never been created in the history of mankind.
What was that industrial revolution?
The cars, steel. You know, it took off from there. You know, we invented the wheel again, you know, and we're off again, and we're running.
So what advice do you have for those who are having a rough go of it?
Get up in the morning and go do something. Start yourself. Get your own motor going. There's things to do out there.
I don't think it's real fair to just pick on the very negative things and publicize them and not pick up any of the really good aspects of it.
What are some really good aspects of Flint?
The ballet. I mean, your kids were involved in that.
Ballet, hockey. It's a great place to live.
Sheriff's Department, anybody home? Sheriff's Department, anybody home? Hello?
I had found one man in Flint with a secure job, Sheriff's Deputy Fred Ross.
I treat a person the way I would like to be treated. You know, like I explained to him that I got a job to do, the court-issued order, not me. If you can make peace with your landlord, good. You know, if you can't, you got a problem. Out here, I put out some good people. You have a lot of people in this town that's paying $800, $900 a month house note. That's a lot of money to try to pay on unemployment. Some of these people just don't want to leave. Especially, you know, older people. Some of them have retired from the shop, and taxes catch a lot of them too. So yeah, if things go down, they close up some plants here. This town gonna be a rough place.
I continued my search for Roger. I scoured the neighborhoods of Grosse Pointe, Grosse Pointe Woods, Grosse Pointe Farms, Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Shores, and Bloomfield Hills. I tried in vain to locate his house, but the name Smith was a common one among these people. I then read that Roger was going to be at the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. I decided to drop in on the affair. Roger Smith.
I haven't seen him.
You haven't seen him here yet?
Just
You calling him?
who? Roger Smith?
Yeah.
You want me to call Roger Smith? No, I'm trying to get a hold of the manager to see if anybody knows anything about him.
I'm sure he said the Grosse Pointe. I mean, it wasn't him.
Can we?
It was.
Who? His office?
Yeah, his office.
Why don't we call his office and
Yeah, I
find
could
out?
do that.
I have a television crew down here with Michael Moore. He's supposed to meet Roger Smith at noon. I have no information.
How often does Mr. Smith come here for lunch or dinner?
The last time I saw him here was for Sportsman's Night.
Yeah. What's that?
It's a wild game dinner.
Yeah. You go out and shoot your own animal, and
Pardon me?
you go out and shoot your own the animals you shoot. You bring here and eat, or
Well, some of the stuff is donated.
yeah.
Yeah. The food's like a rattlesnake and let me think of some real exotic
Ooh.
foods. Alligator,
Eat this stuff here.
roast beef.
Yeah, that sounds better.
I'm sorry.
I obviously had the wrong yacht club because Roger was nowhere to be found at this joint. I didn't have much more time to waste around here because back in Flint at the county fair, thousands of people were being entertained by the diving donkeys, anxiously awaiting the return of our boyhood hero as he made his triumphant return home to Flint.
From Genesee County Fair, the newlyweds, capital of the world. Here come the newlyweds. Big hand. Hey, this is your part. This is where you get involved. Here they come. Yes, it's the newlywed game, and these are out-newlywed couples for the event. Now let's all meet the hosts and start the newlywed game. The Eubanks.
Hey, hello everybody. Welcome. How nice of you to come out here today. Welcome to the opening of the fair. Hi, Mom. How you doing? You devil, you.
What about questions like, how heavy are your wife's breasts?
I never asked that question. I will say, how much does your wife's chest weigh? Oh. But there's a lot of difference in that question you just asked, and a lot of a hell of a lot of differences. And that's where I think we get a bad rap. People like yourself will quote a question like that, and I wouldn't ask that question for anything in the world. I wouldn't even say breasts.
First question. These are the easy questions. Ladies, how much did your husband say your chest weighs? Gladys, how much did he say your chest weighs, sweetheart?
2 pounds.
2 pounds. He said your chest weighs 6.5 ounces. Yeah. I said both of them. He said that is both of them. I said, I'm sorry. He said, not as sorry as I am. Yeah.
Bob was right. He didn't use that word breasts, and I considered apologizing to him for implying that his show wasn't wholesome entertainment for the entire family.
You know why Jewish women don't get AIDS? Because they marry assholes. They don't screw them, pardon me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for this afternoon. If I made you smile one time, it's been working for me. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time, too. Until next time, we'll be back here tonight about 7:30. I'm Bob Eubanks. So long, everybody. See you there. Bob Eubanks!
Well, I was born here in Flint, but I don't know anything about it. I can only tell you this about this town, that it's pretty. The people are nice. I don't know much about the economy, but I can take you some places around the United States that are a hell of a lot worse off than Flint, Michigan. And so I don't think it's such a bad town after all.
With 30,000 jobs now eliminated, the city decided to turn to that one event that had always made us so happy, the big parade. This time honoring the surviving Flint sit-down strikers. The highlight of the parade was Miss Michigan, Kay Lonnie Ray Raffco. Passing by the dozens of boarded-up stores and hundreds of jobless Flint citizens, she was an inspiring sight to all present.
How do you feel about the economy here in Flint? The factories all shutting down.
This isn't my interview yet. This is my time for enjoyment.
All kinds of important people showed up to march in the parade, like the governor of Michigan, James Blanchard.
How do you feel about General Motors closing up these factories in Flint?
Oh, it's tragic. Tragic.
Do you think we need another sit-down strike here?
I don't know that that'll do any good. That's the problem.
Is this a great time for a parade? I think so too.
Give your life to Jesus. Jesus Christ loves you. Give your life to Jesus, sir. Tell your viewers that they need Jesus. Give your life to Jesus.
And of course, how could you have a parade for the founders of your union without inviting the current president of the United Auto Workers, Owen Bieber?
I don't know that we need another sit-down strike per se. Sit-down strike today would not necessarily resemble or be able to bring about the same thing that it did in 1979 or 37.
The union is getting weaker. We're losing power. Why? Because there's too many union guys, too many guys in the union that are friends with management.
Some of the plants that are announced to be closed obviously are going to be closed. We have to accept reality that they're just not going to remain open. I think, that with the spirit here, that Flint will continue not only to survive, but will continue to grow.
Some people know what time it is, some people don't.
Miss Michigan, could we talk to you for just 1 second?
Sure. The face looks familiar. Was this when you caught me on the road here?
Yes, we were trying to talk to you back in the parade. How does it feel driving through Flint, Michigan today and so many people being laid off, so many plants being shut down?
How does it feel? I feel like a big supporter. That's how. Does it matter of what?
Supporter of General Motors?
Of just being here for the people. Is it the parade?
But you go past so many stores that are boarded up and people that are laid off. How does that make you feel, just on a personal level?
A little sad, of course. I'm for employment and working in Michigan, and hopefully it's just temporarily. So I just keep my fingers crossed that they'll be back in working soon. I'm trying to stay neutral here. I'm going to Miss America in 2 weeks, and I don't want to...
It's a great day for a parade, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful. It turned out wonderful. I can't believe the crowd. In fact, it's the largest parade I've been in.
Really?
And I've been in probably over 20 since June. And this is wonderful. I love coming back to Flint. It's my 3rd trip here, and I love it.
Any message to the people of Flint?
Just keep your fingers crossed for me as I go for the gold in 2 weeks, and hopefully bring back a crown for Flint and the rest of the Michigan state.
2 weeks later, she got her wish.
Our new Miss America, Kay Lonnie Ray Raffco, Miss Michigan.
There she is, Miss America.
This is probably number 15. I've been here and evicted someone.
From this house?
From this house, yes. Daryl, Sheriff's Department. Sheriff's Department. You better get your clothes on. We're here to put you out. We're here to put you out. So you better get your clothes on. Evict you from the house right now. People stay up all night and sleep all day.
Deputy Fred seemed especially busy these days. After doing 24 evictions in one day, he arrived to evict a woman who was a month behind in her rent. She quickly got the landlord on the phone, and after telling him that a film crew had arrived with the sheriff, the landlord told Fred not to evict the woman and her children.
I mean, it had leaked so much, this whole area here was bulging down. And my oldest son, I moved his bed because I was scared that the ceiling would fall, but nobody was over there at the time it fell. It needed to be painted outside. That aluminum siding you see outside, I put on. I paid for and had it put on.
See my siding?
It does look better.
Oh, yeah, you put that on since last time I was here. You spent a lot of money.
Well, it looked like the raggediest house on the block, and these houses look pretty nice, and I was embarrassed about it. You know, and the deal was pretty good, so I worked with it.
What's going to happen to this woman?
End up sitting there, letting the new husband come up with the money. I can't imagine somebody getting married to someone as poor as you. It gets kind of rough. Two poor people in the same house. I always tell women you can be poor by yourself. You don't need any help. And she just got some help being poor.
3 days later, Fred put the woman and her kids out.
Hi, may I help you?
Yes, we've been looking for Roger Smith, and we were wondering if he was here right now.
Okay, I have no idea whether he's here or not, but you are going to have to leave the club.
Why is that?
It's a private club.
Do you know if he's been here today? Or...
To my knowledge, he has not been.
Does he come here often?
I really don't know.
Is he a member here?
He is a member.
He is a member, but you don't know if he's been here recently?
I'm afraid we don't keep track of our membership, but you will have to leave the club, sir. It is a private building.
Well, you'd know when Roger Smith comes
Sir,
in.
we're going to have to ask you to leave the club.
But I just want to find out when you think
I'm
you might...
sorry, you're going to have to leave the club. Call General Motors and check with them.
Well, we have called General Motors.
Fine.
We can't get in there.
Then if you can't get in there, you can't get in here either. Would you mind leaving?
We could just wait here.
No, you can't, sir. They say you got to leave the building, sir, so you got to step outside.
Well, we'll come back.
I'll be right here.
Yeah.
Just call me outside and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Sir, you may wait outside. If he comes in, you can interview him outside. You may not interview him in the club.
You personally don't remember the last time he was here?
That doesn't mean anything.
When the chairman
I'm sorry.
of GM would be in here?
No, that does not impress me. I'm sorry.
It doesn't impress you the chairman of General Motors is here?
Chairman of General Motors is just another member of our organization. He's an important individual, but he's no more important than any of the members of our club.
I wasn't having much success bringing Roger to Flint. The mayor, though, was having better luck with an even higher authority. He paid TV evangelist Robert Schuller $20,000 to come to Flint and rid the city of its unemployment plague.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Thousands filled the city's hockey arena to hear his message of hope.
Pull your way out of poverty, but you're not going to pull your way from poverty to prosperity until you realize you have to be humble enough to say, I need help. Why, and then what happens is you can turn your hurt into a halo. The sorrow becomes a servant. Just because you've got problems is no excuse to be unhappy.
Maybe Reverend Schuller was right. Things could be worse, and there was much to be thankful for, like the Star Theater of Flint, funded with GM money to provide entertainment and escape during Flint's hard times.
Buick City, this is called, you know. Rednecks, hard hat, automotive workers. We bring Broadway and the theater to them in this beautiful edifice here. Well, that takes money, time, effort, energy. Wow. Bobby Vinton opened our season, was 90% sold out. It was a great big hit. He has very much charisma, came into the audience, spent about 10, 15 minutes with the audience, fussing with the ladies, doing kissing and the this and the that, and they loved him. He got standing ovations every night. Peggy Lee came. She was not the greatest big hit, but she had her cult from all the surrounding areas. Her cult, who loved her. Those who came absolutely loved her. Standing ovations, bravos, cheers. They were crazy about her, you know. Last year, Mitzi Gaynor, we had her here in her show. She brings 10 wonderful boy dancers with her. She makes 14 changes, 16. The boys make 14. When they're on, she's off. When she's on, they're off. And they're all changing costumes all the time, one production number after another. And you'd be surprised, some of those hard hat factory workers on the assembly line say, hey, yeah, they just present your badge or your identification so they can come at a half-price ticket to keep them coming when they're having hard times. See?
We're singing joy to the world.
Long before she sold orange juice, Anita Bryant sold spark plugs for General Motors' AC division. She used to perform in Flint for General Motors when I was a child, and I remember her carrying around a giant spark plug and singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." Now she was back in Flint, offering her advice to the unemployed.
The opportunities are still in Flint, Michigan. They're still in America, so hang in there and just take one day at a time.
Go forward and be positive about life. Don't feel regretful or guilty about the past. Don't fret or worry about the future.
You have today. Today's a new day. It's an opportunity for you to look about you and look at the positive within yourself and within your community.
Take a look at yourself and you will look at others differently. Put your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee.
I read something interesting. Margaret Thatcher, she says, cheer up, America. She says, you live in a great country, you're a free country, you have a great president, and not everything is perfect, but cheer up because you live in a free America. So we live in a free society. Today is a new day. It's an opportunity to do something with yourself. If nothing else, you know, thank God for the sunshine and for the fact that you're not starving to death, and go out and do something with your hands. I don't know.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all.
Flint is bedrock America. And people here don't quit, and they don't give up. And they know that there have been lots of good times in the past, and there's more of good, productive time ahead.
You better come home, Speedy Gonzales.
It was like I was reliving my childhood. First Anita and now Mr. Chevrolet himself, Pat Boone, had arrived in Flint just when we needed him.
I look the same. I liked you the moment I saw you.
More people identified me with Chevrolet than with any other sponsor and any other spokesman. And since my family was getting bigger every year, we were having a baby a year, I needed a station wagon. So each year that I worked for Chevrolet, I had a Corvette and a station wagon to use. And that just strengthened my feeling that this was a great sponsor and a great product, which I could wholeheartedly endorse on television, and did.
Hey, take a look at Chevrolet's 58 Corvette. Oh, what a beauty. You know, I own and drive one of these things myself. I can vouch for them. The sweetest handling baby on the road today. Chevrolet's completely new in style. It's the longest, too.
Have you ever met Roger Smith, the chairman of General Motors?
I haven't. At least I don't think I have. At least if I had, it would have been before he was chairman years ago during my involvement. I don't think we've met.
So you don't know much about him?
I don't know much about him as a person, but he sure seems to be a very optimistic, can-do kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's not a quitter.
Yeah.
I would rather have you. See you later.
Who's to blame for what's happened here in Flint?
Well, I don't think it's anybody's fault. In a free society, in a capitalistic, democratic society, things just do change. There are shifts and trends. I'm sure General Motors doesn't have any desire to either close down a plant or put people out of work. The key becomes the attitude And folks wind up saying, hey, you know, it was the best thing that ever happened to me when my job at the plant phased out, because I was only going to go so far at the plant. And now I've got my own business, you know, whatever it is. It's maybe no accident that the Amway Business for One is in Ada, Michigan, offering anybody for almost very little money a chance to start earning dollars, having their own store in their own home.
If you have a dream and you go after your dream, you can do it. If you do it full time, you can really make good money. You can make a lot of money off of these because these.
Janet was one of hundreds of Flint citizens who had taken Pat's advice. Although her husband was still working at GM, she had seen many of her friends laid off and didn't want to take any chances. She had been the founder and host of Flint's feminist radio show, but now she was a distributor for Amway.
Color is my main love. I got color analyzed myself a couple years prior to learning color consulting, but as soon as I found out what season I was, it really changed my outlook. I went around draping everyone with my eyes, and I really wanted to get into this business. It was very exciting to me. About 80% of the world's population is winter or summer. Blacks, Jews, Italians, most often are winters. I start out with the orange and the pink drape. And the reason why is because what I'd like to do is put you into a family, the warm family or the cool family. People who are warm have a yellow undertone to their skin. And the orange drape brings that yellow undertone out and makes them look really good. If you put orange on someone who has a blue undertone, which would be the pink family or the cool family, then what's going to happen to their face is they're going to get real pale, or they're going to look real tired, or they might get a lot of ruddiness come out in their face. So what I like to do is I like to put what I think is the wrong color on you first. And then I can compare it to the right color. And by that way, it'll really improve how you look. Okay, so what usually happens is what I'm seeing happen to her is she gets jaundice when you put orange on her. She kind of turns yellow, looks a little bit sickly. And you might not even see it that much right now, but let's compare it to the pink. I get a small commission on every account. Join up and find out. It's good.
3 months after we attended Janet's Amway meeting, she phoned me in a panic and asked that we please come back, as she had made a terrible mistake.
I've very recently learned that I am not an Autumn. I was color analyzed by someone in the IMS line, who are the people who taught me to do colors. And I've discovered that I am another season. It's a warm season like autumn is, but it's a spring instead. So the colors that I wear are basically the same color family, but they're lighter and brighter. But it's really a shock to me because I'm out there color analyzing women all the time, and little did I know that I was not the season that I was telling people I was.
I kind of felt sorry for Janet, so in order to cheer her up, I let her do my colors, and as it turned out, we were the same season. There were other ways to survive in Flint. Taco Bell was one. The local Taco Bell was retraining laid-off auto workers to assemble tacos and chicken fajitas. The local paper said this was to be their dream job. But when I stopped by to see how they were doing, the manager told me why all the ex-GM workers had been fired.
A lot of them, they say this is a lot of hard work because assembly work, some of it's easy. It depends on what you make it. This here at Taco Bell, every day is a new day. Every time you turn around, it's a different challenge.
And just taco light.
Taco light?
Yeah.
Okay, would you like any cinnamon crispers with your order today?
Yeah, you make it sound so good.
You dining here today?
Fast food is one of the most stressful environments because the demands on you. Fast food does demand a fast pace because we want to try to present a food item within so many seconds if we can do it. The transaction from assembly work and fast pace at Taco Bell, some of them just couldn't develop that speed.
There has been a number of small manufacturing companies that have done very well. One I like to look at is Helmac Corporation. You familiar with them? Well, they invented a lint roller. Now they ship lint rollers all over the world and have a very profitable, nice business operating. Maybe there's a There's all kinds of opportunities, but it takes
wait a minute,
innovation.
Tom. Lint rollers, that's the solution to an auto industry,
That's an
giant
example.
auto industry that had its birthplace here in Flint, Michigan, and lint rollers are going to pull us out of this depression?
There's still as much opportunity here as there was when Billy Durant started a motor company down here on Water Street. Maybe more opportunity.
You believe that?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
I saw the sign down on the street. It said you're selling rabbits and bunnies here
Yeah?
for sale.
You want pets or meat?
Pets or meat? You meaning I can buy the bunnies to have as a pet, or I can buy them for
Meat. They're already dressed and cleaned. I butcher the babies when the babies reach 4 or 5 months old.
Well, that's good.
You see, if you butcher the older ones like these guys, then they're stewers. They're not fryers. And a lot of people likes fryers better than they do the stewers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I keep my own personal stock, and then when my babies get 4 or 5 months old and I have 15, 20 babies, you got to get rid of them some way.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
If you don't sell them as pets, you got to get rid of them as meat. Them guys are all meat. But see, they start doing this to each other,
What's that?
peeing on each other and stuff like that when they get older. And if you don't have 10 separate cages for them, then they start fighting, and then the males will castrate the other males, and they do. They chew their balls and right off. Then you have a bloody mess. So that's why you gotta butcher them when they get a certain age, or you have a heck of a mess. I'm on Social Security, and the only other income I have is my rabbits for groceries and bills and my dogs. I also raise Doberman pinschers. Because sometimes I only make $10, $15 a week, but that's better than nothing. At least I can go out and buy $10, $15 worth of groceries. Because you only get paid once a month from Social Security, and that's not very much.
And it's really pretty popular. A lot of people come down here. Usually some people comes down. They're only open on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays. Saturday and Sunday they're closed. On the holidays they get, you know, like $1 bonus, $2 bonus here and there, you know.
If you're doing this every day, I mean, isn't your arm filled with needle marks, or?
They only keep it in one certain spot.
Yeah.
That's where they keep it,
So
right
does
there.
it look bad?
Does it look bad?
Huh?
I go ahead, I take some rubbing alcohol just to get the scar tissue to heal up.
Can we see it?
I only do it with my right arm. It's not so bad. Okay, they only do it in a certain place, in a certain spot, right here. So it's right here. They don't track it up. They only do it in 2 places.
Flint is perhaps best known for its principal industry, but it's quickly gaining notoriety as a major crime center.
It's a record year for homicides in the vehicle city. According to the FBI, Flint now has the highest violent crime rate in America.
Flint's crime rate is one of the highest on the continent.
A big part of the problem is that there just aren't enough jail cells for all the criminals.
I don't think that target would have lived.
I got 2 out of range there.
You got 3 out of the ring, son.
Yes, sir. Where's my third one? Here's 2 here. Now, where's the third one out of range? Okay, that one is out of range.
I tell you, your biggest problem is your barrel length.
We usually tell them that probably their best protection for home is the shotgun, short-barreled shotgun.
Why is that?
Well, it's easy to handle, and if you do have to shoot, you're not liable to miss.
And when they hear that pumpkin, when you rack that, there's no other sound that's like it, and usually you don't have to fire it. They get moving pretty fast, and they'll move away.
Like your sound.
Oh, yes, and they know exactly what you have. You don't have to say, I have a gun in my hand. And they know what it'll do, because it'll really tear them up.
With higher unemployment creating more crime in Flint, General Motors and the United Auto Workers Union came up with a novel idea. Train the ex-auto workers to be prison guards and give them jobs in the jails, now filling up with their former line mates.
It's kind of sad in a way to see somebody that you know or had done something with on the outside being in jail or sent them to prison or something like that. But I guess it's, you know, theory goes, you play, you pay, and you get over it.
I have the possibility to move on. That's what this 160-hour program was all about. And I have a certificate now stating that I can apply anywhere in the United States. Money's not an object right now. If I can improve myself morally, the money will come later. Now, it's almost half what I was making at General Motors, but I like the work a lot better. So, it's not as hot. It's nice in here. What's going on? I'm in a heated discussion down there, I guess.
A staff member is a violation of that rule.
I will respect you as a gentleman. When you treat me with respect, I will respect you. I know my rights.
I really don't know the answer. I feel sorry for people, but you can't help them. I mean, you have such a good welfare program, and so they just don't want to work. I don't think so. I really don't know. I absolutely don't know.
Good chat.
That's nice. All four of us have always lived in Flint and gone to school here, and we just love it, so.
What do you love about it?
Well, of course, we love our friends, you know, and we like our club, and we like, the stores and, you know, what's left of them.
I think everybody should try to find another job or do something else in training or something like that.
You think a lot of people are just being lazy?
I think some of them, a lot of them, they take the easy way out, I think.
Judge issued the order to vacate the house.
Right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go get a truck. Today?
Right now.
Can you wait till we go get a truck?
You can go get the truck, but he got a crew on the way here. They just stopped at the store to get him a pop, so I would get dressed if I was you.
You gotta vacate the house.
We're doing more evictions and more repossession and everything. Way behind, trying to catch up. A lot of these people that bought school clothes and didn't pay the rent. The system got to change, because if they didn't have enough money to pay the rent and buy the clothes, they're in trouble anyway. I put out some of my best friends, but nothing personal, you know. They know me, they know what I do, so if they lucky enough to draw me, at least they got somebody they can talk to. These people couldn't find a truck. They called 2 or 3 different places. They called U-Haul, and they said all their truck was out for today. They called Ryder Truck, and they said all of theirs was out for today. And a gentleman came by, we hauled him down, and he didn't want to get involved. And so now I assume they on the phone trying to get a trailer from Mott's Trailer Rental up on Carpenter Road.
Why are all the trucks being rented here?
People's probably moving.
With GM closing, there are so many people leaving town. We've handled over 82,000 address changes. We're having a lot of people just abandon their house sometimes. Thank God we're getting new equipment in here. We're getting new higher tech computers that will be able to process more mail. And I don't foresee this job evaporating. I feel that we're real secure in forwarding the mail.
Usually we see somebody every day that we know that's moved on, left town. A lot of people are going to look for work elsewhere. My husband's currently laid off, and we're giving some thought to it ourselves, some GM layoff.
We have been having so many trucks go one way to places like Florida and places south of here. It's like we have a very hard time keeping trucks in the Flint area. It's expected, we'll get some of our fleet back towards midsummer, but with the layoffs coming heavier, it's going to be very hard to keep a truck around here.
I continued to dog Roger all over the country, from Detroit to Chicago to Washington, D.C. to New York City. I followed a trail of 3 martini lunches in pursuit of the chairman. I finally found Roger at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City, where he was getting an award for the Car of the Year. We weren't in the hotel 5 minutes when GM Security recognized one of our crew members as a relative of their arch nemesis, Ralph Nader. They called in the New York City police, who carried him out, chair and all, down to precinct headquarters. As soon as I could, I headed down to Detroit to Roger's office, where I was determined this time to get onto the 14th floor.
Where are you guys going?
We're going up to the 14th floor.
Do you have an appointment?
No, we're going to try and see Roger Smith.
No, you're not. You're not gonna get on one of those elevators.
Why is that?
If you don't have an appointment, you're not going up to 14.
Well, can we go up and try and make an appointment?
No.
Why?
I need Tony or Denise.
And the reason to talk to Roger Smith would be?
Michael Moore.
No, what's your reason for seeing Roger Smith?
Excuse me. I need to see you. We're making a film. I quickly sized up the situation. 3 guards in the booth, plus the one with a corsage. A dozen security cameras and 4 new cars with inflated sticker prices parked in the lobby. If I made a run for it up to Roger's office, what's the worst that could happen to me? Before I could fully explore the consequences of such an action, my escorts to the 14th floor finally arrived.
Mr. Smith is not in at the present time, and we'd be happy to take your request under advisement, just as we would all appointments to see him.
Yeah, that's what I've been told before. I've called and I've written, and I've been here before.
Have you written?
And yes, I've written. I've called.
To whom?
To Roger Smith, General Motors Building, Grand Avenue, Detroit, Michigan.
John, how about we have a letter sent to your office?
Oh, yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you send a letter to us, and we will be happy to, as I say, take it under advisement, just as we do all requests to see the chairman.
Okay, it's just I've been waiting for about a year now to get this, I think it's been under advisement for a long time.
Well.
And so what I'd like to do is just go up to the 14th floor and set up an appointment with his secretary.
Well, that would be impossible.
Obviously, I was getting the big blow-off once again. Meanwhile, things weren't getting much better back in Flint. More jobs had been eliminated, and the city had become the unemployment capital of the country. The visits from the stars and the creation of new jobs had failed to pull Flint out of its depression. Just when it appeared that all hope was lost, the city fathers came up with one last great idea.
You don't usually think of tourist attraction when you think of Flint, but people here in Flint would like to change that, and they're willing to go to some pretty extreme lengths. Flint officials would like to see the local tourist economy explode. Flint's Convention and Tourism Bureau president says visitors should take advantage of Flint's convenient location.
millions of travelers pass by our doorstep. Now with this active and aggressive promotion, we'll be able to draw them into our city and experience what we have to offer.
As part of the plan to attract tourism and conventions, the city spent $13 million in tax funds to build a Hyatt Regency Hotel. Although most people in Flint were now too poor to afford a room at the Hyatt, the hotel allowed the public on opening day to come and ride the city's only escalator.
Put a luxury hotel in the heart of our city, just like other cities with their luxury hotels, with everything from the fountains and high ceilings, the atrium lobby, to the large windows, the large plants. The quality is there, what you would find in Chicago or Atlanta or San Francisco. We've got some great facilities as far as places to stay, interesting places to see, museums, and it's a nice community to visit.
Meet Mr. and Mrs. Roberts. They're two of the thousands of people who decide to spend some time in Genesee County each year.
There's the sign. We're almost there.
Oh, I can hardly wait to see some of the places in the brochures.
Let's pull off and fill up first.
Okay.
You from out of town?
Yeah, we're on vacation.
Welcome to Flint. You staying here?
Yeah, we are. Lots to do, huh?
Oh, sure. There's lots of attractions here you'll like. Have you seen Crossroads Village?
See how a little hospitality, right from the start, can really make a difference? Suggesting things to see and do builds our own image, and it creates positive word-of-mouth endorsements, the most inexpensive, yet most valuable type of advertising there is.
Once again, you see our slogan, Flint, our new spark will surprise you, capturing a lot of enthusiasm, letting people know that there are some new and surprising things in the Flint area.
This is our visitor's logbook. I see West Germany here, Australia. Jackie, what are some of the things that visitors ask us here?
First off, where is the bathroom? That's the question I get asked most. Then, what is there to do in Flint, basically?
The city had a hard time attracting major conventions to the Hyatt, so it had to settle for groups like the Michigan Ready Mix Concrete Association and the statewide organization of Scrabble players.
On this last game, I made a 7-letter word, partier, P-A-R-T-I-E-R. So we looked in the Scrabble Bible, which is this dictionary, and it isn't allowed there. They allow partied, P-A-R-T-I-E-D, and parties, P-A-R-T-I-E-S, but no partier, so don't claim you are one ever.
Flint's leaders needed more tourists. They hired the company that built New York's South Street Seaport to come to Flint and create Water Street Pavilion.
We took a 4-square-block area, tore it down, and built this new facility, which is a lot of glass and steel, as well as plants and different colors to make it festive and fun and exciting. Also a major parking ramp and some other facilities connected with the building. It's more than just another building in downtown Flint. I like the color and the excitement of it, and it's very good for tourism in our area. Major stops for the bus tours that come to our area. They can pull up, park the bus, and unload 40 senior citizens or so. Water Street brings a fun atmosphere that comes with a festival marketplace, much like other festival marketplaces around the country.
But the crowning jewel in Flint's plan to attract tourists was Auto World, hailed by city officials as the world's largest indoor theme park.
Today is the first day of the rebirth of the great city of Flint.
The governor had reason to be excited. Donnie and Marie had come to celebrate the opening of Auto World, constructed at a cost of over $100 million and dedicated to the belief that the automobile made America great. I paid my $8.95 and saw something I hadn't seen in a long time. Downtown Flint, rebuilt exactly to scale under the glass-enclosed dome of Auto World to look just like it used to before the factory closings. They predicted that 1 million tourists would come to ride the world's only indoor Ferris wheel, to gaze at the world's largest car engine, and to meet the official sponsors of the American dream. My favorite was the exhibit sponsored by General Motors, a puppet auto worker singing a love song to the robot replacing him on the assembly line. The song was called Me and My Buddy.
Me and my buddy. We make the dreams come true.
Auto World will make a major contribution to our important tourism and travel industry. It's not only a contribution to that, but as the mayor said, to jobs for our people, our children, our neighbors.
Well, the million tourists never came to Flint. The Hyatt went bankrupt and was put up for sale. Water Street Pavilion saw most of its stores go out of business. And only 6 months after opening, Auto World closed due to a lack of visitors. I guess it was like expecting 1 million people a year to go to New Jersey to Chemical World, or 1 million people going to Valdez, Alaska to Exxon World. Some people just don't like to celebrate human tragedy while on vacation.
It started to get looking like Toronto, upper middle class, black and white people, and everybody was dressed nice, and we thought it would be the entertainment center of the county, in all truth. And that may be naive, but that was my goal. Let's make it the entertainment center. Let's make it so that everybody wants to be in downtown Flint. We're gonna have entertainment, we're gonna have art, it's gonna be very cultural, it's gonna be very upbeat. Somebody said something to me, and maybe it's true. They said, look, Maxine, you can't make Palm Beach out of the Bowery. You want to make Palm Beach, you got to go to Palm Beach.
Half of Flint was now receiving some form of government welfare. Meanwhile, Roger Smith gave himself a $2 million raise. GM lobbyist Tom Kay tried to explain.
I don't understand, though, your connection by saying that because General Motors was born here, it owes more to this community. I don't agree with that.
Why not?
Because I just don't agree with it. Well, I believe it's a corporation that's in business to make a profit, and it does what it has to do to make a profit. That's the nature of corporations or companies. It's why people take their own money and invest it in a business so that they can make money. It isn't to honor their hometown.
They're evicting somebody from his home.
Oh, I was just wondering.
It turned out that the guy Deputy Fred was evicting had gone to my high school. His name was James Bond, and as if that hadn't caused him enough grief, he was now being thrown out of his home.
Where can I go? Where can I go to stay?
What do we have, 5 kids?
You want to tell me that?
We had 5 kids at the place where I was this morning.
And you went over there and you evicted them?
Set them right out on the ground.
Why is that?
Because they didn't pay the rent. You think I like this? I got other things I could be doing.
You've been doing it a long time.
Well, a job. I had.
That's what I say. Well, it's a job.
It's a job. Somebody got to do it.
I feel sorry for the people that have kids right now. What are they going to grow up to? What are they looking forward to?
If I was a young man,
right
I'd
there,
be
listen, it's nothing. They got a bleak future.
I know. I worked there. I worked over there for 17 years. I quit, but I worked there.
Why did you quit?
Got tired of the system. It was like in prison to me, so I quit.
It was like a prison?
Yep. That factory played tricks on your mind.
Where are you going to stay? I could probably stay with my brothers tonight. The thing is, I don't want to stay with somebody. Somebody else? I want a chance to have something of my own, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, ever. Not in this town.
It's a rough time. A really rough time. I got thrown out of my house once.
Well, the health inspector came out and told me that I was doing my rabbits in an unsanitary condition for dressing them. So now I have to build me a building where there's washable walls, washable floors, and an unbreakable light. I have to have a scale that weighs properly, and I have to have 3 sinks where I dress the rabbits.
What's going to happen to him?
He's gonna be eaten. It'll be our supper on the supper table. What's the matter, huh? Don't know. What are you guys crying about?
How do you slaughter him?
Hung them upside down and stripped their fur off. And gutted them. Quit biting. And chopped their heads off. Quit it.
What happened to your brother who was working at the factory?
He got laid off. Now you know what I'm talking about. He's dripping. My girlfriend out in Fenton, we tan them, and we trying to make coats and gloves and animals out of the furs.
What kind of coat does rabbit fur make?
A rabbit coat. What else do you think it makes?
Is it a nice coat? Is it warm?
I don't know. We ain't made one yet.
Oh.
We got to get enough furs.
How many do you need?
A lot. You need lots and lots and lots of furs. And right now, we've only got 135 furs. Is all the rabbits I've done so far before I got in trouble. That's why I'm not actually supposed to be doing this. I was brought up to learn to survive if you were out in the wilderness. Now I'm getting ready to gut him.
Do you think it's hard to survive in Flint these days?
Yes.
Why?
Well, the shops are all going down and people just ain't got the money like they used to anymore and can't be buying things, and that's why I said my rabbit meat usually went.
The people of Flint had been through the ringer, but then came the lowest blow. Money magazine declared Flint the worst place to live in the entire country. The Chamber of Commerce and local beer distributors decided to take a stand. They would burn Money magazine.
Well, I came down to burn Money magazine because Flint's my adopted city, and I've lived in plenty of cities, and this is one of the best. There's plenty of things to do, and the economy is not that bad off. We're all hard workers and we're survivors, and I support Flint.
This is to tell people that Flint is our hometown, and there's no way on God's green earth we're the worst place in the whole country to live. A lot of people say there's nothing to do in Flint. Ha! Ha, I say. Ha! I mean, how many cities have their own PGA Tour event? Not that many. We have one right here. How many cities have an air show the size we have? How many people have parks and rivers and trees and huge colleges like this over here? Not that many. We've got a lot going for us, and don't ever forget it.
One good way to start out would be with a song that was written about another industrial city that has seen hard times. The Boss, Bruce Springsteen, singing a song about his hometown.
That smells like Gary, Indiana.
Don't ever let anybody tell you you live in the worst place in the country. They're wrong!
Good evening, I'm Ted Koppel, and this is Nightline.
Flint was now in the national spotlight, but the biggest event was to come when Ted Koppel announced he would interview city officials live in front of City Hall on Nightline.
The trouble started.
Here's what we know so far. The ABC News program Nightline was going to be broadcasting live from in front of City Hall tonight. The reason? The closing of the old historic Fisher One plant. Apparently, though, just moments before the broadcast, someone got in the satellite truck and drove it off, cables and all. So now Nightline has had to cancel their segment from the city of Flint, and police are looking for a suspect. Reporting live from in front of City Hall in Flint, I'm Barb Schroeder, TV 12 News.
They eventually caught the unemployed worker who had made off with a Nightline van, but crime in Flint continued to grow. One guy thought he was the cousin of Superman and decided to save the town. He didn't get very far.
He just wanted us to call him Captain Da. He said you can call me Dada, whatever that meant.
The old jail could no longer hold the increasing number of inmates the judges were locking up, so the county built a brand new state-of-the-art jail that was 5 stories high and filled the city block. On the night before the jail was to open, the city threw a party where couples paid $100 to stay overnight in jail.
Crawling before you get here. They book you, they give you a free breathalyzer test and a mug shot, complete with your fingerprinting.
Why do you want to spend the night here in the Flint jail?
Just the experience.
Yes, I've never been in jail before.
Yes! Eureka! Let's play.
And we're having a fantastic time here.
It was time to confront Roger face to face. Posing as a GM stockholder, I got into the annual GM shareholders meeting. I sat patiently as dozens of stockholders aired their grievances to the board. Finally, it was my turn at the mic.
Microphone number 40 is somebody that has not had an opportunity to speak yet.
Mr. Chairman, I have Mr. Michael Moore, a stockholder from Flint, Michigan.
Mr. Gilbert, I wonder if you'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman?
I think we've answered all the questions of the people. I think everyone has had a turn at the mic.
I have one question.
All right, moved and adjourned. Thank you all very much. You've been a great audience. I think you told me Louis was here.
He's right there.
He was asleep.
Well, he got up kind of slow, and he didn't know what the hell to do. I think he was surprised by it.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
Me too. Well, I'm going to leave this stuff here and let them go, okay? They'll pick that up and bring it.
It was 2 weeks before Christmas, and General Motors was closing the factory where the Great Flint sit-down strike had taken place. The UAW had promised that a massive demonstration would be held on the last day of the factory. Only 4 workers showed up to protest the plant closing.
This is my second one I've closed. I think it must be my destiny to close all the General Motors plants.
It's never pleasant when something like this comes to an end, but life goes on. Yes. What are you going to do?
Excuse me just a minute.
Uh-oh, pardon me?
Where are you guys from?
We're making a documentary film about Flint, Michigan.
From where?
We're just an independent filmmaking
we'd like
group.
you to be off the lawn.
Why?
Because this is private property, and we'd like you not to be on the
Well,
lawn.
we thought it was a significant day here today. The factory's closing.
Well, it is a very significant day. And it's a very sad time, and it's a very private, personal time.
What do you think about General Motors? What do you think about General Motors closing up this factory?
This is a very private, emotional family time, and we would not let any outsiders in the plant.
We're not outsiders.
Well,
We're all
yes,
from
you are
Flint.
An outsider.
Well,
you don't work here. This gentleman is working
This
right
community depends on General
Jerry?
Motors.
This guy, out.
I don't understand why we just can't go up there and talk to them for a couple of minutes. I mean, this is the last hour the factory's open. What's the problem?
The problem is we were told to keep you on the sidewalk.
And you're hired by General Motors to do that?
That's correct. On the sidewalk, please.
Mrs. McGee, there she is. Let me ask her. Why can't we talk to you if you're the spokesperson?
You can talk to me. I'll come outside and talk to you, but not inside.
Will you do that?
I've asked you to leave.
We will go down there if you'll come down and talk to us.
No, I don't think I'll talk to you.
So you won't?
No,
You're the
that's right.
spokesperson, and you will not speak to us about why the
correct.
plant is closing.
That's correct. You don't represent anybody. And you're a private interest, and no, I won't speak to you.
Yeah, we happen to be citizens of this community here. It's not a private interest.
We're all citizens of the community. Jerry?
On the sidewalk, please. Please step on the sidewalk.
1,800 hourly workers at this operation were sent home with flowers today, and even union leaders offer them bleak advice. One worker told me, you know when they send you flowers, when you die.
So, not a very Merry Christmas. And in fact, as one man walked out of the plant here a few minutes ago, he told me, I want to wish Roger Smith Merry Christmas.
It was now Christmas Eve in Flint. After 3 years of trying to get Roger to come here, I was ready to give up. Deputy Fred told me he had 3 evictions scheduled for this day. And at the same time down in Detroit, Roger Smith was beaming his Christmas message to every GM factory throughout the world.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I'd like to welcome you to our traditional General Motors Christmas program.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
We're trying to clear up all the evictions today so it won't get into the latter part of the Christmas, which tomorrow, you know, we don't want to do any tomorrow.
Because it's Christmas.
Right.
Watch out!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of General Motors with his annual Christmas message, Mr. Roger B. Smith.
Now, you know, the thing that strikes me about Christmas is that it's such a total experience. For a few weeks out of our year, our whole environment is transformed. There are the lights, of course, that lift us out of winter's cold and gloom.
Fucked up. This bitch, he got his money and set my motherfucking shit up.
And they remind us of the warmth of human companionship and of the spring that's never far behind.
Try to lay it down so the wind will blow it over if you don't.
We listen for the jingle bells in the country. We smell the pine needles on the trees and the turkey on the table. And we even dream of a white Christmas in the hope that nature will accommodate our longing for a total experience.
I got 3 motherfucking kids. That motherfucker got his money. I paid this man his rent. Get my shit.
The individual dignity and worth of each human being, the more fully human each of us will become.
He got his money. I showed you the paper. All I owe that man is $150.
Now let me close with an observation, but I consider by a real leading authority on Christmas, Charles Dickens. Here's what he said. I have always thought of Christmas as a good time.
Get your goddamn coats on!
A kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time.
Set my shit out, not a paid the bitch. All the bitches, $150, and I was going to give it to a stinking ass.
The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year when men and women seemed by one consent to open their hearts freely. And therefore, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good and will do me good. And I say, God bless it. Well, Mr. Dickens, I couldn't agree more. So I say, God bless Christmas, and God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr.
Smith, we just came down from Flint where we filmed a family being evicted from their home the day before Christmas Eve, a family that used to work in the factory. Would you be willing to come up with us to see what the situation is like in Flint?
I've
so
been
that
to
people...
Flint, and I'm sorry for those people. I don't know anything about it, but you'd have to...
Families being evicted from their homes on Christmas Eve.
Listen, I'm sure General Motors didn't evict them, so you'd have to go talk to the landlord.
They used to work for General Motors, and now they don't work there anymore.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
Could you come up to Flint with us?
I cannot come to Flint, I'm sorry.
Oh, Judah, rejoice, 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 rejoice.
So what's Christmas going to be like for you this year?
Well, I get a couple of days off. That's the good part, you know, I get a chance to rest, but come Tuesday morning, I'll be right back at it.
Well, I failed to bring Roger to Flint. As we neared the end of the 20th century, the rich were richer, the poor poorer, and people everywhere now had a lot less lint, thanks to the lint rollers made in my hometown. It was truly the dawn of a new era.
Well, if you're espousing a philosophy, which apparently you are, that the corporation owes employees cradle to the grave security, I don't think that can be accomplished under a free enterprise system.
Many of us are proud to be here, and it will continue to be a good place to live and raise a family and have a good place to work.
Where are you going to?
I am going to Tel Aviv.
Why?
Well, maybe someday I'll be the Ministress of Tourism.
Maybe if we think and wish and hope and pray it might come true. Run, baby,
So anyway, I was mowing the lawn yesterday with my shirt off, made my back stiff. My wife asked me to mow the lawn with my pants off next time.
I'm planning on going back to school in January for veterinary assistance and also for dog grooming, because there's a lot of animals that needs taken care of.
It only makes it worse to live without it. But let's talk about it. But wouldn't it be nice?
By the way, it's great to have you guys here. It's been fun having you around, too. You see all the craziness that goes on. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy 150th, dear Michigan. Happy birthday to you, and 150 more.
I am proud to be an American, part of a great democracy, where our equal rights are for everyone, thanks to justice and liberty. With our 50 wonderful United States, we're more powerful than ever today. I am proud to be an American and to live in the USA. I am proud to be an American, part of a great democracy.
an American, part of a great democracy, where our equal rights are for everyone, thanks to justice and liberty. With our 50 wonderful United States, we're more powerful than ever today. I am proud to be an American and to live in the
And if you decide to go for it, you'll make it.